Chapter number 2, Microorganisms and Diseases. You must have observed dust particles in the beam of light that enters a dark room. Have you ever thought that we cannot see very tiny objects with naked eyes? In order to see organisms that we cannot see with our naked eyes, we need a special instrument called microscope. The objects that cannot be seen by human eyes are visible as large and clear objects under the microscope. Microorganisms. All those tiny organisms that can only be seen under the microscope are called microorganisms. They are present everywhere in our surroundings. Microorganisms. One main groups of microorganisms. There are many types of microorganisms. They are divided into various groups on the basis of their size and structure, etc. Virus and bacteria are the main groups of microorganisms. Some fungi are very small and these are also included in microorganisms. Number 1. Virus. Viruses are very tiny infectious particles. They are the link between living and non-living things. They can reproduce only within an organism. Out of the body of organism, they are non-living. Viruses are very harmful to living. Bacteria is single-celled organisms. They are found in air, water, soil, and inside living things. Few bacteria are harmful to organisms. They cause diseases in plants, animals, and human beings. A large number of bacteria are useful for humans. Some bacteria help in the digestion of food and ob- absorption of food components in our small intestine. Interesting information. 1. The bacteria which are beneficial for us are called useful bacteria. The number of harmful bacteria is very less. Number 2. The number of bacteria in a small spoon of soil is almost equal to the number of the people living in the continent Africa. On the basis of shape, bacteria are divided into three types: round, rod shaped, and spiral. Shapes of bacteria: round, rod shaped, spiral. Differences between viruses and bacteria. Bacteria are single cells that can survive inside or outside the body of the host. Viruses cause infection by entering and reproducing inside the cells of the host. Viruses cannot reproduce outside the body of the host. Number 3. Fungi. Fungi are simple organisms that are neither like plants nor like animals in their characteristics. They cannot make their own food as they have no chlorophyll. They often grow on dead organisms or decaying matter. They decompose dead matter into simple materials. Then they absorb these simple materials as their food. Some fungi obtain their food from living plants and animals and cause diseases in them. Mold, penicillium, and yeast are the examples of microscopic fungi. Fungi, mold on orange, penicillium, yeast. Number 2. Diseases caused by microorganisms. Many microorganisms cause diseases in plants and animals. The microorganisms that cause diseases in their hosts are called pathogens. The diseases that occur due to them are called infections or infectious diseases. These infectious diseases can spread quickly from one organism to the others through air, water, etc. Diseases caused by viruses: hepatitis, flu, polio, COVID-19, measles, mumps, etc. Diseases caused by bacteria: pneumonia, typhoid, cholera, uh, tuberculosis, etc. Diseases caused by fungi: ringworm, athlete's foot, smut, rust, etc. Rust, smut, athlete's foot, ringworm. Number 3. Spread of infectious diseases and transmission to humans. The five main ways for the transmission of infectious diseases are air, water, food, animals, and direct contact. Type A. Airborne diseases. When a patient of any particular infectious disease coughs, sneezes, or talks, then some pathogens are released out of his mouth and dispersed in the air. When a healthy person breathes, these pathogens enter the body and the person becomes sick. Such infectious diseases are called airborne diseases. For example, COVID-19, flu, and TB. Type B. Waterborne diseases. The pathogens of some diseases are transmitted through water. Such diseases occur when someone uses polluted water for drinking and in cooking. Diarrhea, typhoid, some diseases of eyes and skin are waterborne diseases. Type C. Foodborne diseases. Type E. Transmission of diseases through direct contact. Some diseases are transmitted by shaking hands or by touching things used by the patient. COVID-19, 19, flu, and hepatitis are examples of such diseases. Number 4. Transmission and prevention of infectious diseases. Health is a great gift of Almighty Allah. We realize the importance of health when we are sick. There may be many causes of a disease, for example, germs, scarcity of food, and air pollution, etc. It is important to observe the symptoms of a disease to diagnose. Have you ever observed fever, cough, and flu? The normal human body temperature is 98.6 Fahrenheit or 37 degrees centigrade. If our body temperature rises from this limit, it is called fever. Cough is an instant response of our body. It is due to the soreness and scratchiness in the throat. Fever, flu, coughing. Do you know? Number 1. Fever is not a disease but a symptom of disease. Number 2. The human body temperature is measured by a thermometer. Number 3. The body temperature of humans is usually measured in Fahrenheit degrees, which is written as degree F. It can also be measured in Celsius, which is written as degree C. Number 4. The cuffing removes obstruction of windpipe such as mucus of windpipe. Number 5. The viruses and bacteria present in the nose are expelled out due to sneezing. Number 6. Flu is a disease as well as symptom of many diseases. There are two types of diseases, infectious and non-infectious. Infectious diseases. If any of your class fellows has flu, then usually the teacher advises him to take rest at home. Why does the teacher say this? The teacher advises because the other children may not get flu. Flu is a disease which is transmitted from one person to another. A disease which can be transmitted from one person to another is called infectious, contagious disease. Flu, polio, TB, hepatitis, and COVID-19, etc., are the examples of infectious diseases. The flu patient complains about congested or runny nose and headache. Polio is caused by a particular type of germ called virus. This virus settles in the throat and intestine of human being. It paralyzes the legs permanently. There is no treatment of this disease. Poliovirus is transmitted through food, water, and air. Tuberculosis (TB) is caused by a particular type of germ called bacteria. It usually affects the lungs. TB, flu, and COVID-19 are transmitted from one person to another through coughing, sneezing, use of articles of the affected person, and conversation. The inflammatory condition of the liver is called hepatitis. The germs of this disease are viruses which are transmitted through polluted water, food, and blood. Interesting information. The cause of COVID-19 is a virus which is called coronavirus. It affects the entire body including lungs. Number 5. Prevention of infection diseases. Good personal hygiene is one of the best ways to protect yourself from getting infectious diseases. Personal hygiene includes washing hands, brushing teeth twice a day, covering mouth and nose with tissue or, or your sleeve when sneezing or coughing. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth as these are the points for germs to enter your body. Stay at home if you have signs and symptoms of an infection. In this way, you can take rest and prevent others from infection. We will learn about washing hands, wearing masks, and vaccination, some of the ways to remain safe from infectious diseases. Washing hands. We should wash our hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds with soap before and after meals. We should also wash hands after using the toilet. Number 1. Rub hands palm to palm. Number 2. Rub the back of the both hands. Number 3. Palm to palm with the finger interlock. Number 4. Back of fingers to opposing palm with interlocked fingers. Number 5. Rub thumb in a rotating manner followed by the area between index finger and thumb. Repeat for both the thumbs. Number 6. Rub the fingertips into palm of your opposite hand. Repeat for both hands. Number 7. Rub both wrists in a rotating manner. Rinse and dry thoroughly. Do you know Global Hand Washing Day is celebrated on uh, 15th October every year. Wearing medical mask. Do you know about a mask as a protection against COVID-19? Do you know the proper way to wear the mask? What are the benefits of wearing a mask? Mask is a protective barrier between your nose, mouth and environment. It does not allow germs to enter the body through the nose and mouth. Do not wear a used mask. Dispose of the used mask in a proper way. Proper way to put on mask. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vaccination. Do you know about vaccination? In vaccination, the weak or dead germs of a disease are injected into the body. The antibodies are produced against the weak or killed germs in the blood. These antibodies remains in the body to fight against the germs. Polio is a dangerous disease which may cause lifelong disability. Government of Pakistan has launched a campaign to administer polio drops for prevention of this disease. Polio drops should be administered to the children up to the age of 5 years. Have you been given polio drops? Number 6. Number 7. Useful role of microorganisms. All microorganisms are not harmful. Here are some benefits of microorganisms in everyday life. Making food items. Bacteria and yeasts are used in making food items. Yeasts are used to make bread and cheese. Bacteria are used in making yogurt. Use of yeast to rise the dough. Use of bacteria in making yogurt. Cleaning of environment. You know that some bacteria can decompose dead bodies. Such bacteria can also be used to decompose toxic materials present in sewage and industrial water waste. Cleaning of environment. Making of medicines. Many microorganisms are used for making medicines. Fungi and bacteria are used to make antibiotics. These medicines are used to kill or inhibit the growth of disease causing bacteria. Do you know? Penicillin was the first antibiotic. It was derived originally from a type of fungi known as penicillium. Number 8. Role of microorganisms as decomposers. Decomposition is the breakdown of dead organism and waste matter into simple substance. Bacteria and fungi are important decomposers. They help to recycle nutrients in the environment. Bacteria, fungi. During decomposition, bacteria and fungi break the organic molecules of food and dead bodies into simple components. The organisms which carry out decomposition are called decomposers. The rate of decomposition increases with the increase in temperature, humidity, and oxygen. Sometimes this process becomes troublesome for us, but this process is also useful to us. Do you know National Cleanliness Day? Cleanliness Day is observed on 30th January. This day creates awareness among people to keep their home, workplace, road, and public places clean. Useful effects of decomposition. By decomposition, the complex organic matter present in the dead bodies of plant and animals breaks into simple components. During this process of decomposition, carbon dioxide and nitrogen gases are released back to the environment. The producers, uh, for example, plants use these simple materials again to make their food. In this way, decomposers recycle the matter of non-living and living components of the environment. If decomposers do not exist, then it is impossible to break down dead organisms into their simple components to make these a part of ecosystem again. Harmful effects of decomposition. Microorganisms damage food and wood by the process of decomposition. Because of them, milk is spoiled, bread gets mold, fruit and vegetables are decomposed. Harmful effects of decomposition. Number 9. Defense mechanism against infectious diseases. Human body has the ability to defend itself against infectious diseases caused by microorganisms. One way to defend the body is to provide barriers to entry of uh, of the microbes. Bearing entry. Skin and mucous membrane lining the respiratory, digestive, and urinary tracts serve as barriers to the entry by the microbes. There are oil glands on the skin. Their, their secretions contain chemicals that weaken or kill bacteria on skin. The mucus in the nasal passage traps the bacteria and prevents their entry into lungs. The stomach has an acidic environment which inhibits the growth of many types of bacteria. Number 10. Effects of too much sugar in food. The effect of intake of too much sugar in food are higher blood pressure, inflammation, weight gain, diabetes, and liver diseases. All of these are linked to an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Use of first aid box to dress a wound. Number 1. Wash your hands with soap and water before handling any wound. Number 2. Clean out a fresh cut with a gauze or clean cloth. Proper cleaning helps prevention of microorganisms. Number 3. Apply elastoplast or bandage when the bleeding has stopped. It will protect the wound by preventing bacteria. Putting elastoplast on a wound. First aid box. Key points. All tiny organisms that can be seen under the microscope only are called microorganisms. Number 2. Viruses, bacteria and fungi are the major groups of microorganisms. Number 3. Viruses are very tiny infectious particles. Number 4. Bacteria are single-celled microorganisms found in all types of environment. Number 5. Fungi are simple unicellular or multicellular organisms. Number 6. Diseases caused by viruses are hepatitis, flu, polio, etc. Number 7. Diseases caused by bacteria are typhoid, cholera, etc. Number 8. Diseases caused by fungi are ringworm, athlete's foot, rust, etc. Number 9. The disease transmitted from one person to another are called infectious disease. Uh, for example, TB, polio, COVID-19, etc. Number 10. Non-infectious diseases is not transmitted from one person to another. For example, diabetes, cancer, etc. Number 11. The humans have barrier mechanism against the entry infectious diseases that include skin, stomach, acid, and mucus. Number 12. Preventive measures that can be taken to avoid infectious diseases are washing hands, wearing masks, getting vaccinated, and prevention against insect bite. Number 13. Vaccination improves immunity of the body. The process of vaccination is done by administering weak or killed germs through drops or injection. Number 14. There are five major sources of transmission of infectious diseases: air, water, animals, food, and direct contact. Number 15. Many microorganisms are used for making medicines. Number 16. Some microorganisms do decomposition. They break down the complex matters of dead bodies into simple components.